Welcome to the Shine Seeker Show, the podcast where strategy and soul come together, because the best business plan in the world can't do its job if you don't believe you're worth building it. I'm your host, Katie-Beth Schultz, founder of the Sunburst Strategies Co. and your Shine strategist. Every week, we're going from scattered to strategic with real conversations, real marketing strategy, and honest moments that remind you you are already worthy of the shine you're seeking. Let's get into it. Hi. So I think I need you to do my social media. So every time I hear that from a potential client, I give myself a little smirk because I know that we are about to have an incredibly different type of conversation. So have you ever asked someone that or thought about that if you could just fix your social media, everything about your marketing would be perfect? If you have, I want you to stay right here because this episode is for you. This one's going to change everything you think about marketing. So women come to me with the question of, hey, can you do my social media? Because they truly believe that their business needs a social media upgrade. And maybe it really does, but 9 times out of 10, we're not going to start there. That is going to be several ticks down the to-do list. And they come because they think they need to post more, they need a certain aesthetic, they need a better platform, more consistency, or something that's going to make them go viral. And that is just not the case. I start asking them some questions about well, what are you selling and who are you selling to specifically so that I can understand the product, the service, and their ideal client. What is the business actually about? What do you want your business to look like in 3 years? And what are you actually offering? What are you selling? And here's the problem. This is a belief that doesn't answer those questions. So listen to me again. The social media belief that social media is going to solve all of your business's problems. It's not true. So here's what I wrote this down specifically. I'm going to read it to you because it came to me when I was thinking about and planning out this episode. Social media is the outward expression of what's happening behind the scenes. If there's nothing happening behind the scenes, no clarity, no defined offer, no mission, then social media is just noise. So that's really important. And I want you to write that down. I want you to press stop, rewind, write that down. I'll say the first part one more time. Social media is the outward expression of what's happening behind the scenes. So let me give you an example. So I talk about this a lot. I use this example a lot. If you are building a home, you go to a general contractor and you say, hey, I want to build my house. What do we need to do to get that started? And if this general contractor comes to you and says, well, first we're going to put the roof on, then we're going to paint the walls, and then we're going to put the wallpaper up. That's absolutely insane, right? Like there is a system, there is a strategy, there is a reason that the foundation gets poured first, and then the other things start happening on top of that, right? And I am in no way, shape, or form a home builder, so I don't super know what I'm talking about, but I do know that a foundation has to happen first, right? So, we could have all these pretty things. And I get excited about the pretty things, right? Like the pretty things of the wallpaper, the decor, the wall decor, the furniture, what type of floors, the appliances in the kitchen, like those kind of things, the light fixtures. But a lot has to happen before we do that. We have to have a mission and a purpose before we do that. And if we don't, then our house is not going to get built. It is the same exact thing with your marketing when you are marketing your business. We've got to know a ton of other really important information before we ever hit. Yeah. Here's what I want you to think about as we go through this show together today and every show from here on out. So we always come back to this question of what is the shine that you're seeking? We deeply and truly believe in that in the Sunburst Strategies Code because it's the ethos to everything that we do, everything that we do for your business, and it should be the ethos for everything that you do for your business. So we come back to that because when a woman, a business owner or entrepreneur or creative is talking to us and saying, hey, I need social media, what she's actually looking for is recognition, visibility, growth. She wants people to see what she's building and say, yes, I'm all about it. I'm into it. I want that. I want to do that. I want to be a part of whatever she's doing. And that shine is real and that shine is valid. But here's the thing. We've got to make sure that you are building the road in order to get there so that social media can shine its absolute brightness. And that shine actually has substance to it instead of just being a light that could go out just like that. Okay, so I have written down here the questions that I actually ask my clients when they come to me seeking help with their marketing. And we're using the example of social media today. So I'm going to walk you through these questions so you can start thinking about these questions for yourself and for your business. So number one, what do you want out of your life, out of your business, out of your days? What does your perfect day look like when you're running your business? If you can't answer that, then that's where we start together. What do you already have? That's question number two. What products or services exist right now? What is your business made up of? What are you doing that people are buying or that you want people to? Number three, what is your mission statement? Not the polished version, but the real one. What are you doing and why are you doing it? Number four, what does your 10, 5, 3, 1 year plan look like for your life and your business? Have you even thought that far out yet? And the last question, number 5, those plans align with what you said you want. You have thought about your plan over the next few years. Do those things align with what you said at the top about what you want your business and your life to look like? All of those things have to come together and align together so that you don't burn out, so that you don't create something that's unnecessary, and so that you can have something sustainable and that lights you up. So a lot of times when women business owners and entrepreneurs come to me, they've never been asked these questions before, or everyone says, oh, like I have that in my head. I've thought about that. Like I know these things. And that's great. I want you to have those in your head. But if you've never taken the time to physically write them down on a piece of paper, great. To put them in your notes in your phone or on your computer, that's great too. But there's something incredibly powerful about taking pen to paper and writing those things down. That is absolutely mind-blowing. So women come to me and they haven't even been asked those questions before. They haven't written them down. That's where we start because now I know what it is you're trying to communicate with the world. Now someone else has gotten all that good information out of your brain and it's in the hands of a marketer or in your own hands as your own marketer for your business. And you can then communicate with purpose. We're not just going to throw up a social media post because it's trending. We're not going to say, hey, come buy my thing, because there is a strategy and there's a journey and there is a long, twisty road that we've got to build out so that your ideal client can then get your offer, your service, or your product. So now I want to talk about the three must-haves that you need to market your business. And social media is in there, but you might be surprised at where it lands on the list. So first thing you need after we talk about those things we just did of answering those clarity questions around your business, why does it exist? Who are you selling to? What are you selling to them? All of that. Once we get clear on that, the next step is having these specific things to market your business and communicate those things to the world so that you will attract your ideal client or customer. So, number one is a website. How I want you to think about your website is that this is a house that you own. This is your space. You put up the walls, or maybe you hired a designer to do it, but you have built this thing out and it is all about your business. The sunburststrategiesco.com is all about the sunburststrategiesco.com and what we do and why we do it, and the products and the services that we have to offer so that you could purchase, right? Nothing else out there, and I own it. I, as the founder and the chief creative director of the Summer Strategies Co., I can go in there and change anything I want to, say anything I want to. I have complete and total control of that. I can run ads. I cannot run ads. That is where everything lives. Own this. I want you to think about that. You own this. This is your house. So that is number one, is your website. Number two is going to be your email list. This is your most direct line to your audience. Again, you own this. You control this. You control how often you want to talk to your clients, your potential clients, your repeat buyers. You control what you want to say to them. You control what you want to sell. You control the journey that people will go on when they click certain links with your email newsletter. You own that. You control that. I want you to think of your email list as the invitations to a party that you send out to all of your friends, family, extended family, etc. So I want you to relate that to your house, your website, right? So you send out invitations to your invite list, which is your email list. And then you're inviting everyone to come to your house, your website, your thing that you own. You want them to have a good time and have a party. Now, there's a lot of different things that we might want someone to do once they get on our website, but ultimately we want them to buy something, correct? We are in business to make money. We are in business to help someone solve a problem, absolutely. But at the end of the day, we need a transaction where someone gives us dollars and we keep those dollars and we give somebody something to make their life better, right? So just like when you invite someone to a party at your house, you want to invite them, they come, you provide everything that they need. If you're A+ hostess, you are going to have snacks, you're going to have drinks, you're going to have comfy places to stay, you're going to have a awesome playlist, you're going to have some games, you're going to have everything that anyone needs that they expect when they come to hang out with your house. So to recap, your house is your website. You own that thing. You can do whatever you want there. Your email list is your invite list. You can speak to your audience however often and however you want to with your brand voice, and you know that it's going to their inbox, their mailbox, and that they are going to be invited to come to your website, to your house. Okay, you fine? Number 3, only then at number 3 is where we hit social media. Okay? Social media is the amplifier of all of this. Okay? So, what do I mean by that? Social media, what we have already talked about and created, and we started on your website, we made your house a home. Okay? We put the decor, we picked the paint colors, we picked out the furniture, we made it look exactly how we wanted to and feel exactly how we wanted to. Okay? Then we invite the people that we already know, our email list. Those people are the ones that we know, we love, have purchased from us before, or they have looked at certain pages before, and they made their way onto our email list. Now, social media is the next reach out from home base where you can take people that look like people on your email list. They haven't quite made it there yet onto your email list. And we're going to talk to them. And we're going to say, hey, I have this pretty cool invite list that I keep growing. And when you get on that, you'll get to know me a little bit better. We'll be pen pals. And then I'll drop some every now and then to come hang out at my house. And you should really be on it because you look like some of these other people that are on my email list. I've solved their problems for it. So you should do the same thing as them because I'm here to help solve problems. Okay? Here's something else incredibly important that I need you to know about social media. We talked about your house as the website, you own that. We talked about your invite list, which is your email list. You own that. Social media is something that you rent. Social media is not something you own. When you go to at the Sunburst Strategies Co. or at Katie-Beth Schultz, yeah, that's me on there. That's the business on there. And I hope you see it. And I hope it stays there forever. But at the end of the day, Meta owns that. Not Katie-Beth, not the Sunburst Strategies Co. Meta is allowing me to rent some space there and talk to people. It's just like if you go out and you rent a physical brick and mortar storefront from someone that owns the building. At any point, they can raise the rent. At any point, they can decide to, oh, at any point, they can decide to shut you down because they changed rules for some reason. Now you're breaking some crazy rule that you didn't even know you were breaking. All of these things are reasons to have spaces that you own. And we want to spend the most time and the most effort pouring into those spaces because that's where you live. That's where the dollars come. And that's where the transformation happens for your clients and customers. So first, your website, then we work on your email list. Finally, after all of that, and that is when we start using social media as the amplifier to send people to your email list and to your website. Okay, so I had someone come to me before and they really wanted me to do their social media. So what did I do? I asked them the question about, well, why and what does that look like? And who are you trying to serve? And what are you selling? And all of that good stuff. And when she said, well, I guess my customer is a woman. Okay, great. How old is she? What does she like to do? What's her, you know, household income? What does all of that look like? Uh, she likes cute stuff. Okay, got it. Okay. What about the things you sell? What's your top sell? What are your top 5 selling items that you have? Oh, uh, sell a lot of jewelry, and then I sell some t-shirts, and I'm I think the next thing might be, um, you know, the car fresheners. Okay, guys. So here is what I discovered after that conversation. Social media wasn't her problem. It was clarity. Clarity was her problem. She didn't know exactly who she was selling to. She didn't know how old that woman was, what kind of money she had coming into the households, that she knew how to price her products or what type of products to sell her, because that's the disposable income she has in order to buy those things. She did not know what her top sellers were. So she could be, man, going crazy and selling something where she's got a huge um markup, but she doesn't push those or market those as much or have them placed on the website on a certain place. And then she personally likes the t-shirt, so she's buying all this inventory of t-shirt, but it's not selling as much, not making as much money as she could on this jewelry item over here. So why do I tell you all of this? She is not unusual. That woman entrepreneur is more of the norm than I would like to see. That woman is brilliant. She's capable. She's hardworking. She is everything that she needs to be in order to be an A plus entrepreneur and businesswoman. So I say this and I tell this story not to make anyone feel bad, but I tell it because it is something that is so easily fixable. If we just walk it back, take a breath, and really take stock of, why does this feel so hard right now? Why is this not working the way that I want it to work? Why am I not reaching the goals that I've set out I really want to reach? We've got to start at the clarity and understanding who we're selling to, what we're selling, why, and why our business exists. You took nothing else from this episode today. I want you to hear this. Your marketing problem is really not ever really marketing. It's the clarity that lives underneath it. It's the answer to those questions that we talked about earlier in the episode. Got to have that foundation where you are clear on what you want, what you offer, and what you serve. Because when you know those things, your marketing becomes so much easier and your sales are going to skyrocket. So if you're sitting here wondering where your clarity gaps are, or if any part of this episode resonated with you about where some things might be missing within your business, you might not know the answer to some of the questions that we've been talking about, I want you to check out the Shine Strategy Reset. It is a free 15-minute diagnostic that is going to tell you exactly where there's some gaps in your business and what to do about those gaps so that you can get quick win. And I will drop the link to that in the show notes. It's called the Shine Strategy Reset. And after you do that, you are going to be so clear on what your next steps need to be so that you can start moving forward in your business and not feel like you are just spinning your wheels anymore. And trust me, I don't have time to spend an entire afternoon on something like that. And so I know you definitely don't either. So it's only going to take at top 15 minutes. Next week, I want to tell you about how the Sunburst Strategies Co. actually started. I know I mentioned a little bit about it in the first episode, but I would love to tell you the full story. I'm really excited to do that next week. And it's probably not how you might expect a typical founder story to go. I mean, what founder story is typical? Hey, you're going to love this. I would love to see you back next week. So, before we go about the rest of our day, I want to leave you with this one question that we're always going to end each and every single episode with. What is the shine that you're seeking? Not what does your to-do list say, not what are you supposed to want out of your life or business, not, well, that person that follows that needs to be this, not what your competitor is doing. You want. What is the shine that you're seeking out of your life and out of your business? Write it down. Seriously, take a piece of paper and a pen and write it down. The answer is going to be the compass for every single thing that we do together moving forward. I can't wait to see the direction that you'll go in.